Hi YouTube, Luminous Star here. Welcome to my channel, Luminous Star. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about communication styles of narcissists. Okay, and this is really talking about effective communication, right? Even in the best of relationships, the communication can be kind of poor. However, when we're talking about toxic relationship with narcissists, it is pretty much impossible to have effective communication, right? Okay, here we go. At the end of the video, please hit the like and or subscription, and also send me comments and questions. All questions, please send that to my email address, which is featured in the About section of my channel. So go to About, click on that, and you will find my email address. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to be giving 3 points, 3 tools, and 3 examples in this video. Here we go. I promise this time. Point number 1, effective communication. What is that exactly? That's when you're in conversation with someone or several people and you're fully present in the conversation. You're fully present. You're not on your phone. You're not looking all around. Even when there's not a lot of people around, you're not looking all around. That's quite annoying. And we've all gone through that at least once in our lives, right? When we're having a conversation with somebody and there's not a lot of people around, but they tend to be looking all over the place instead of having eye contact with you. Quite annoying. But anyway, even though that's annoying, this is something that narcissists absolutely do intentionally, and that is to stir the pot and annoy, okay? Because they get supply from doing that, because they're looking for the reaction. Remember, I said that in several of my videos. This is one of the things that narcissists like to do. They like to stir the pot to try to get you to react instead of respond, because they get supply from that. So when it comes to communication and the lack thereof, narcissists are notorious for not communicating very well in all of their relationships. And they do this seemingly on purpose. But effective communication is when you are fully present in the conversation, no matter how many people there are. You're fully present, you're engaged, if someone asks you a question, even if you don't know the answer, you'll say, okay, well, I don't know. Or if you know the answer, of course, you're going to answer it. Now, you're also flipping that around. If somebody says something and you don't quite understand, you'll ask the question because you want to understand where they're coming from. Effective communication, one of the purposes of that is not only to strengthen a relationship, but to make sure that everybody is on the same page, not necessarily agreeing with one another to be on the same page. I hope that makes sense. In other words, somebody can have a different point of view and you're okay with it. You're still on the same page. They just have they have a different point of view than you do. The fact that you're on the same page means that you agree to disagree. That's what being on the same page is about. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the same point of view as someone else just because you're on the same page. Okay? I hope that makes sense. It took me a little while to practice that, but as soon as I was okay with various points of views that weren't, the same point of view that I had, I was cool with that. I'm like, okay, that person has every right to see it how they do, and I have every right to see it as I do. However, now we'll get into the good part. That was point number 1, what effective communication is. Point number 2, when it comes to narcissists, they tend to do the opposite. They don't see anyone else's point of view. You know why? Because they don't want to. They don't want to, because what they say is law, what they say is gospel, and let's face it, they're God. Okay, according to the narcissist, they're God. In their mind and their perception of themselves is that there's everyone else down here and who's inferior, and they are superior. Okay, now narcissists, they don't tend to see anyone else's point of view in a conversation. Not only that, they're not fully present in the conversation. They're not very interested in who you are, what you think, and how you live and how you feel. They don't really care about that, right? They're not interested in connecting with you on a verbal level or an emotional level. They're not interested even on a spiritual level to feel you and vibe with you. Narcissists don't do that. they're not interested in intimacy or the connection. So effective communication, you have to have that in order to have intimacy. You have to have that in order for there to be a connection. However, narcissists, they go against that. Anything that would have very little to no communication is very good for the narcissist. They are not interested in connecting with anyone. So if you communicate effectively, what does that involve? That also involves you opening yourself up, not only to know others, but to be known. That's something that terrifies narcissists. They don't want to be known. They don't want to be found out. All the BS that they dish out. They don't want you to know about that. You feel it and you know something's not quite right in the relationship. However, the narcissist does not want you to find out how false they really are. They're not trying to have you find out, who they really are and what they're about, because they'll blow their cover. Anyway, point number 3. Narcissists, when it comes to communication, how do they usually do it? There's a lot of sarcasm, and they usually tend to cut people off in mid-sentence sometimes. You can be speaking and they will cut you right off. And this is also something that narcissists are notorious for. They don't let you finish your sentences. If you have a thought and you want to express it, the narcissist is going to see to it that you're going to be interrupted. They will speak over you, they will talk over top of you, and they will raise their voices, and there's tending to be a lot of sarcasm in their language. Narcissists are notorious for this. And when it comes to supervisors who are narcissists, they do this a lot. They speak over top of you, and if you have a thought, they will interrupt you repeatedly, and this is very annoying. But this is the communication style of narcissists, is to interrupt, is to make sure that they will subtly, or in a subtle way, they will not only interrupt you, but they will also insult you. They may say something in a joking manner and you feel insulted, and you kind of think and you second guess yourself. So the narcissist, this is what they aim to do, to get you to second guess yourself and not to really realize that they just insulted you. And you're more than likely not going to defend yourself because you question whether you were insulted or not. Now, a lot of narcissists, again, they are notorious for that type of communication style. They will say something to insult you and they will try to gloss it over and, like they were joking, right? But we all know that narcissists, those of us who have been dealing with them for a long time, we know that they are insulting us, but in a subtle way. So these are some of the communication styles of a narcissist. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and at the end of it, please hit the like and or subscription button, and go ahead for the tools. Check it out in the description box. Okay, those are going to be the tools for this video in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.